We've seen it all, we've won the law. We're Man United and we're never gonna stop. Ole ole, ole ola, ole 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 ola. What could you say to a team that's won it all? Tell me. Casemiro, like what could you say to a man that's done it all? Cause for them this final's a pinnacle. They were chilling in Trafalgar Square on their knees looking to the sky praying for a miracle, but they never knew Ten Hag gonna cook them all. What could you say to a team that's won it all? Casemiro, like what could you say to a man that's done it all? Cause for them this final's a pinnacle. They were chilling in Trafalgar Square on their knees looking to the sky praying for a miracle, but they never knew Ten Hag gonna cook them all. Yes, the OT99 banter room where opinions are shared and smoke continuously gets served. Look, how many times have we made a video that's been positive? That has been positive back to back to back to back. Look, it's becoming like the norm. It's feeling like old school Manchester United right about now, where under Fergie, where everything's just a W. It's like, I expected to win this. I expected to win this trophy. I expected to be ranting and raving. Look, Man United is on an upward trend, bruv. An upward trend. Flipping hell, man. NK, Edwin, how are you feeling, man, after that victory? How are you feeling? Take it away.
Look, I just want to ask, if your club hasn't won a trophy this year, sit down. If your club hasn't won a trophy this year, sit down. Top of the league. Down. Where's your trophy? Where's the medals, man?
Wow. This is what it matters. This is what it matters.
That's what it is, man. As it stands right now, the only club that have won a trophy is Manchester United. That's it. Nobody else done it, man. Champion. We are the champions of England. You know, we take it over.
Do you know what's funny? Yeah. Do you know what's funny? People are like, how could you be celebrating a Carabao Cup or EFL Cup or whatever it's called? Blah 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 blah. It's a Tin Can trophy. And if you follow the journey of Manchester United, you realize that this isn't even necessarily about the Carabao Cup. This isn't necessarily about that. This is about us getting over the line. It could have been FA Cup. It could have been Europa League. It could have been Champions League. Obviously, Champions League is massive. Premier League, same thing. But it's about facing an atmosphere like that with players that hasn't won a trophy in the league. A lot of them haven't. A lot of them, it may be even their first, some of them. Getting over that line. And look, I be cheering tackles. I be cheering, clean sheets, let alone, this is not necessarily about Carabao Cup, because I be cheering my team in a normal game just like this. It just so happens to be like this is a final, and look, we've got a trophy to show for it. Look, Edwin, how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Look, we won. As you said, a lot of people are saying, how we celebrating, but at the end of the day, you enter competitions to win. You know what I mean? That's the goal. Like, you don't get no medals for finishing in top 4. You don't get a medal that says, you qualify for the Champions League. You don't get that. You may get the money and the notoriety, but look, he's won a cup in his first season, isn't it? People can say whatever they want, but look, it's one of the honours, isn't it? So salute to him and salute to the team, because it could have easy. If we lost it, everyone would have been just laughing. So
facts, the banter would have come round. Look, Man United's seen it all. We've won the lot. With Man United and whatever, that stuff. Ole ole. Hey, don't let me get into it. But look, first half year.
So when did they say, is that the last time? When did we last win a trophy?
6 years
6 years. 2017. 18,
I think it was 19, was it Europa League or whatever? It was like 6
years
Europa
League, 2016 under Mourinho, right?
Under Mourinho. And look, it's been a long drought. And a team of our size, a team like Man United, should never be going that long without winning a trophy. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like we're back to winning ways. I feel like Manchester United is going to continue to pick up trophies. There's still a lot to be won. Eric Ten Hag has already said it. We're not finished yet. And when he talks, you just got to believe him. You literally got to
Did you see his interview where he got up and walked away and he left the cup? He's already on the next mission.
He's moved on.
He's already on the next mission, yeah. You see him dancing with Anthony and what's his name?
Martinez?
Martinez, yeah.
Yeah, Martinez, yeah. Just enjoying life, man.
But what does that
It's good
tell
to see
you?
that side of him, though, because he always looks serious, you know what I mean?
Bro, leading up to this game, yeah, or shortly after it, I was reading more stuff coming out about Erik ten Hag and the type of man he is. And even after that Barcelona game, there was stuff coming out of him, flying back straight away to focus on recovery for his players. Whilst them guys are going to sleep, he's going to his office, reviewing the game, prepping for the following talk with the players. You know what I mean? This is the type of guy Erik ten Hag is. He'll be tired, but he's still prepping. This game.
But did you hear what he said as well? He said
the players weren't celebrating drinking drinks, only the staff and him.
But the only thing I like about him, he said, look, he's not here he doesn't like playing boring football. He wants to play attacking football that looks good. So like he's actually come with it. He doesn't want boring football, full stop. And you can see that the way we play, we're very progressive. You remember when he first came, we were doing that a lot of side passing, a lot of defensive play. Now we're very direct, you know what I mean? And intentional.
That's how it is. And you know what? This guy, I feel like we've got our right man. We've got the right man for the next however long he wants to stay. I feel like
you know what? We don't have the right man. We don't have the right man. We got a perfect man. You know, we got a perfect man. And I tell you,
I was waiting to see what he's gonna say.
No, I tell you what is so amazing too, because I mean, this season we all talk about he's gonna come in and the style of football is gonna change and what. But you know what? What he came in, the first thing he done this season was to change this player's mentality and turn them into winners. To have that winning mentality.
Wait, NK. The background that you're showing is making me hate, bro. Those settings are just looking. Those settings are looking too fresh, bro.
Yeah, right. Look, NK celebrating the win, innit?
Bro.
Palm tree settings, man.
I swear that.
Honestly, that's what this manager did, man. Like he came in and he said, "Look, we can do the style of play all we want, but at the end of the day, I need to get these players believing that they can win stuff, you know." And for the whole season, everything that he's talked about is like win, win, win. So first, I think the first thing that he's doing these past few months is change that mentality to just make them believe that they can win it. You know, if you listen to the way that he's been speaking, he said, "Look, don't look too far ahead. We take it game by game. You know, don't be too distracted." Even yesterday too, after he won it, he left the trophy there. They're like, "Oh, you leave the trophy?" He's like, "Nah, I can win more." So you know, so he's a winner. So that's what he's actually putting into this place. And now you can kind of like sense the belief that this place has also started to kind of like be hungry as how he's hungry. You don't forget, 100%. He's won trophies in the past four years. You know, every season in the past four seasons, he's been winning trophies, and he's literally bringing it here. So to him, this is nothing new to him. He keep on winning. So the players need to be on board. And yesterday, they done exactly that. You know, they done exactly that. From the minute 1 to minute 2, you just knew that they only cared about one thing. It wasn't about their style of play. It's just about at the end of 90 minutes, they wanted a trophy. And that's what they did, man. So big up to Ten Hag, man. He's not a right man. He's a perfect man, man.
Jeez, come on. I stand corrected. Look, another thing about Erik ten Hag is the personnel that is brought into this club. We've got a long way to go. This ain't the be-all or end-all of nothing. But when you look at, like, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when we brought in Maguire, there's nobody that you can look at and say, that guy deserves to be club captain. Now, fast track now under Erik ten Hag. It is very difficult. Like, even in games, I'm struggling to be like, if you ask like 10 Man United fans, who do you think your man of the match was? You'll probably get a few names coming out, variations, maybe 3-4 players coming out, 5 maybe. That was never the case before. It was David De Gea. He made all of these saves, David De Gea. Look, Manchester United has got so much character now. We've got so many players that you can say could be our captain now. You got Martinez. You could fling the captain to him. Varane, you can give the captain to him. Bruno, you can give the captaincy to him. Even Luke Shaw's coming out and speaking well spoken. He's been here for a long time.
And who can't you give the captaincy to? Maguire.
You can't give the captaincy to Maguire, bro. You can't. He's off. And that's the thing about Man United. You're looking at it like, even with like I was saying, like the man of the match performances now, people be giving you different players, and that is a big testament to the work that Erik ten Hag is doing and the like the mentality that he's instilling in these players, man. It's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. Like, for me, I'm looking forward. Like, people talk, when I'm chatting with Chester, I'm like, yeah, we can win the quadruple. Yeah, there's a bit of gas there. But under Erik ten Hag, I feel like I have every right to talk reckless, because he's saying he's going to do stuff and he's delivering. He's saying he's going to do stuff, and he's delivering.
Some of us have been talking reckless before he even came here.
NK started talking reckless. He started with the maddest. But do you know what? I'm fully behind it. I'm fully behind it because what I've seen him do in the league is a joke. Now, look, Erik ten Hag, we spoke it on the last vid. He's someone, that makes those in-play decisions, that in-play management. He's got the most goals from in-play substitution, like when he makes his decisions, the most goals. His subs tend to just change the game. And we saw another example of that when St. Maximin was given Manchester United a horrible time. Look, Dalot got booked within the first, 8, 9, 10 minutes of the game. I thought this is going to be a long day, a long, long day. Look, Dalot weathered that storm enough to make Erik ten Hag make that substitution of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Look, when Aaron Wan-Bissaka came on, St. Maximin was running. It was running.
I think to be honest with you, I think that the yellow card kind of did influence that stuff. But one thing you got to give credit for Tim Hag, because I remember when he was coming there, and then we used to speak to like the Ajax fan. They used to say like, oh, at times his in-game management is very like he take his time to kind of like do it. And that was one of the parts of the reason why they lost to Tottenham in the Champions League semi-final. But since he came to United, I don't know. He's been very hands-on in terms of like the sub. He changes it when he needs to change it. He's got it more right with his in-game management than he had going wrong, So big up to him on that one too. And yesterday, I was just like the way first 30 minutes, it was all Newcastle, Not to be like say like they were threatening our goal, but they had the ball, they were pressing us, we were just like kind of like in our shell, very compact and everything. But those two the two goals changed the game, The first one, I remember up until that goal, I was looking at Luke Shaw and thinking like, nah, Luke Shaw, you making your wingers get past you very easy. And then he goes on to the other end, and delivered that beautiful free kick. So it is what it is. And then Casemiro scored the goal.
When that cross left his foot, the minute he left his foot, I was there saying, that was a sweet cross. Like it was really, he hit that well, right between the goalkeeper, that space between the goalkeeper and that defense.
He done it very well, and it shows about with these players too. Like that's what it is. They'll be doing something bad, and then 1 minute they just go and create magic over there, So big up to them. Yesterday they played like a final, It was about winning. It wasn't about nothing else. And then when it came to the point to delivery, they did delivery.
Casemiro, man, he's been standing up for us like nothing. And you look, another thing about Casemiro as well. Just on the topic of him. Did you see after the game a clip? They showed a clip of Casemiro like pulling up Bruno Fernandes. He pulled up Bruno Fernandes whilst they were celebrating and was having a one-on-one with him and said, you know what, like, why didn't you pass that ball to me, man? In that game, man, I could have potentially done this or done that. Look, a live argument with him. Then he walked away. He kind of like smiled it off afterwards. But the game had already finished. Casemiro was already thinking about the mistake that Bruno made or the lack of awareness that Bruno had in that 90 minutes. And that clip alone says everything about where Manchester United is. And I feel like when Casemiro first came, 70 million people were thinking, yeah, he's coming for his retirement. Varane coming for his retirement. The way and the passion that, look, I see them celebrate more for winning the EFL Cup than they probably have done for some Champions Leagues. It says a lot, man. It says a lot with that. Like, it's a big testament to them and their drive to win new things, start new chapters, continuously challenge themselves. And this club is the right place to do it under this manager, Erik ten Hag. But I've got a question for you. As Aaron Wan-Bissaka earned himself a new contract, or do you still go in the summer looking for someone else?
Yeah, I'll take that. Look, make no mistake. Yesterday, I'm part of these players, the ones that won it from Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. I mean, some of the players that we don't rate as fans. I'm very proud of them. They play their parts. Their parts in it. Yeah. But I always say we are going on a journey, and some of this journey we're gonna need a different type of like mentality. We're gonna need players to be consistent throughout the whole season. We don't need this thing where you have one good game here and then you have another good game after 2 to 3 months. We don't need that. We need consistency, and I think in the past this club has rewarded players based on like a low kind of like good performance, and that's not good enough. to me, as things still stand, I don't think he's good enough to be our starting right back. And even the law seems to have let Wan-Bissaka kind of like coming. So I'm in the place where I'm kind of like questioning them too, in terms of like, if we're going for a league, do they have the standard to kind of like be part of like that, be like the main guy that we rely on? I don't see that just yet. If a good offer come for him, I mean, not just him too. At the moment, I'm thinking maybe we can kind of like keep him and maybe replace the law. But to me, one of those two full right back, one of them needs to go for us to gain as a proper quality inside, because we know that this league, if you want to challenge for this league and if you want to win it, you need proper quality up there. Not just about their defensive skills, but you need someone who can do both of them to a certain degree. And I still don't see that just yet with Wan-Bissaka. I just still don't see that just yet.
What's your thoughts on that, Edwin? Do you feel like Wan-Bissaka deserves a new contract? Do you feel like he should stay out of the two?
It's difficult to say, isn't it? And what Wan-Bissaka... Do you know what I think, though? I think you look at the two, right? Wan-Bissaka has had to compete with the lot, and he's turned up, right? The lot's kind of like shown that he's too comfortable. If I was to get rid of one, I'll probably be the lot. And even if we get a first choice right back, I would keep Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka out of the two is actually showing someone that wants to work and is improved heavily, even in his gameplay. And I think even under another season with Ten Hag, we could see better from him. But I think NK is right. We'll probably need another right back. But if we were to get rid of one or the two, it'll be the lot. Because I've seen more from Wan-Bissaka since he's come back. Like, even when he came on, that tackle he done on St. Maximum that played Workhurst through, just like being able to read the ball well. And when we get up into the stages, we're going to be playing against more tricky and fast players, and he's really good defensively, and he's getting better attacking wise. You know what I mean? There's still areas he needs to improve on, but out of the two, I think I prefer him over the lot, to be honest.
Do you know what
I've been very disappointed with Delort, though, Friends. I'm not gonna lie. I've been very disappointed with him.
It's dipped a bit, isn't it?
I mean,
he started well, then he dropped heavily, isn't it?
Nah, it's not even that. Because one of the reasons why we kind of like favored him over Wan-Bissaka was more to do with like his attacking ability, but he hasn't really done nothing going forward. It's like Wan-Bissaka has been the one doing more going forward than Delort. And defensively too, we know that Wan-Bissaka is better than him defensively too, So I've been very disappointed with what they call it with Delort, and especially he's the one who need a new contract, not necessarily Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, I think, got like 2 or 3 years left on his contract. So to me, if you want to be replacing one of them, it probably will have to be Delort. But then the manager values him for his progressive passes from the back, so that's also another thing too. But if it was up to me right now, I think I would be replacing Delort and then keeping Wan-Bissaka as the guy where tactically, if I'm having a tie game where it's like 1-0 and I need to see the game out, I'm bringing him on to see the game out. You get what I'm trying to say? Whereas having like 2 back-to-back full backs like that, because for example, look at Liverpool. Trent is very good going forward, but defensively he's not the guy. So if you have like someone, if like Klopp has someone who was good defensively like that, games where he probably like 1-0 up, what he does is take Trent out, put someone inside and see the game out. So that's what we do with Wan-Bissaka, man. But
something you said, something you said offline stuck with me, and it was like when you said Manchester United, like, may be looking at like having 2 different types of teams for certain situations, and like there's been a lot of time. Like, I don't think many fullbacks shut St. Maximin up and I saw even Almiron. Now, remember there was a Wan-Bissaka duo with Casemiro, and Almiron and St. Maximin were on the same side as well, on the right hand side, and they turned back, went away. And there's not many defenders like in the world that can do that, because St. Maximin, in my opinion, his output is terrible. His output is terrible, and I think if he had good output and he was more clinical and decisive, he'll be one of the best players in the world. But he just isn't. But he's dribbling, he's so unpredictable, he doesn't even know what he's doing. And the way how he was running away from Aaron Wan-Bissaka was a big testament to how good Aaron Wan-Bissaka is at defending. You look at Zaha, who always tops the ranks here for the most successful dribbles out there. If you look at it, he'll be up there. He's there giving interviews saying, no, if it was anyone else but Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he made that sprinting challenge, clamped him as well. And I'm thinking, like, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's got a unique skill of that defending that is more difficult to replace in terms of at that quality level, at that higher level, I feel like I can depend on Aaron Wan-Bissaka to make that tackle to see us through a game than any other defender. And that is something that's probably more difficult to replace than maybe getting a another attacking fullback out there, because I feel like you can get the low level and better going forward, but you can't get a defensive fullback as good as Aaron Wan-Bissaka that's available on the market. So it's interesting to see what happens there, if he's earned himself a new contract or not, or because there's still that discussion of Frimpong, isn't it, from Bayern Leverkusen and all of this stuff. So, but I don't know, man. If it was me, I don't know if I would let him go, man. I feel like even with Casemiro, he's so needed, required for this team. But if you do get Frankie De Jong, can they partner up together? Or if Casemiro gets injured, can you play De Jong there as a lone number 6 and play different style?
This is what I alluded to, the fact that he might have to do 2 different teams, where, because if you see the manager, I think at times it kind of mix it up with the guys that want to play a total football and the guys who are direct. And I feel like throughout the part of the season, we've kind of struggled in terms of controlling games. And as of now, when you watch us, I think our best kind of chances normally come through the transition. That's where it comes. And even yesterday, after we won a cup, he even said it himself, and that was one of his own quotes. He said, "Look, the football wasn't good, but it was effective." And I think in the Premier League, I think at times you're going to need that kind of effectiveness too. Not always pass around too. So, me personally, I feel like he just needs to do that, where he will have the guys that normally will play that kind of beautiful total football that he won, that will get results too. But this is the Premiership too, where you can't always do it for 90 minutes. At times, you're going to have to do that kind of nitty-gritty, defending and stuff like that too. So if you don't have the player that can do that, then this is when the other side of the team kind of come in. Your Wan-Bissakas come inside it too. Even your McTominay, your Fred, and stuff like that kind of come in terms of games that you want to see out. So I think that would be in the back of his mind going forward, so that he will kind of but then to be honest with you, most of the guys that he normally bring in too, they always have that kind of temperament anyways, to kind of fight anyway. So I'm sure when the time comes, he will probably let's not forget, Delort is not his guy. He came to meet Delort at the club. So we don't know if he's had the opportunity to bring a right back inside. We don't know what type of right back he will bring,
Because I saw Juranovic. I heard was that guy Juranovic or whatever his name is, that one that had a good World Cup. He plays for Celtic. I heard he was looking at.
No, but he moved from Celtic though. He played for a German team now, Union. Yeah. They play against Ajax recently. They actually played in the Bundesliga actually. So he moved. So I don't know, but I think with Tim Hag, if you saw you see how Martinez played with that kind of aggression, Anthony played that kind of aggression. I think given a chance to kind of sign a player, I think he will bring a player that not only is good with the ball too, but I think they will also have that kind of fight in them to also do some type of that defensive work too. But only time will tell. I also say right now, I don't know what his thinking is in terms of how he see the team going forward. Only his summer signings will tell.
Look, Edwin, we've obviously got a lot to think about. We've got West Ham coming up now, FA Cup. Then followed by that, we've got Liverpool. We're utilising our players. You saw Workhorse. He probably had the game of his career at Manchester United yesterday, against Newcastle yesterday. But for you, what do you think Man United could achieve this season, man? What's it looking like for you? You're on mute, bro.
I think at minimum now is the FA Cup still available to win. So that's another domestic cup we can win. It's definitely Champions League. Obviously, there's a chance for us. We're not too far off.
Do you mean top 4?
Man City. But even Man City and Arsenal. So there's a chance to challenge and put pressure on the top 2 with a minimum of potentially finish second. With a chance of even finishing first, if things go our favour. But at minimum, I think we definitely need to get back in the Champions League. That's on the pitch, and off the pitch, we need new owners.
Big facts. I think that's so key. But
on the pitch wise, I feel the 3 cups we're still in the shout. We've got a good draw in the Europa Cup.
Do you see us?
Edwin, who's on top of the league?
Huh?
Who's on top of the league?
Isn't it Arsenal?
Well, let me tell you something. As long as Arsenal's on top of the league, everybody got a chance of winning the league, man. Oh, make no mistakes about it, man. This league is not over, man. It is not over.
It's true. How many points? So how many points are we behind Man City? 2?
We're 5 or 6 points behind. I think we're 5 or 6 points behind Arsenal, but they got a game in hand. And we're maybe 3 points. I'll double check it now. And maybe like
Yeah, I think with City it's like about, I don't know. I think we both play the same game in games. I'm not sure if we play same games. Yeah.
so.
I think
Look,
it's 2 or 4.
we've all played the same game. City's played one more game, but we're Arsenal's on 57, we're on 49. So at the minute they're 8 points clear of us. Sorry, and City is 6 points clear of us. But we've got a game in hand to play over City, so we can reduce that to 3 points if we win our next game against our next game against Liverpool. That's a big game, man. And then obviously,
God, that's a big game, man. Liverpool are what? Like 9 for so, man. That's a big game, man.
Look, that's gonna be a nice, lovely test. Like, it's gonna be a nice test because obviously I wanted to. We played them early on in the season. They were shaky. They still are shaky. And I just want us to get the double so we can solidify like how far we've come with a lot of these clubs and just putting away.
If Man United somehow win the league, that would be crazy.
Bro, I've been gassing. I've been speaking the most chess, and like I said, Eric Ten Hag has given me reason to speak with that much chess, man. Look what he's doing. Like, I don't know, man. It's just.
But I think with all honesty, I think the league might be
it's a stretch.
A bit of a stretch for us too, because I think in terms of like our squad, we don't have the squad depth like that. You know, we've had so many injuries. We don't have the injuries. You know, our striker has been injured the whole season too, and we just one or two suspension away from like the team normally like kind of like crumbling. So the league is more like a big outside kind of like chance. But FA Cup and Europa League, look, I won't be surprised if by the end of the season we got 3 trophies, man. I will not be surprised. If I'm a gambling man, I'm putting money on that. Like we go get two other trophies too. But I still think we will end up probably like finishing second. So if City will win the league, Man United finish second, and Arsenal finish third.
Jeez, it's crazy because you look at the games that we've had against Arsenal, who we may face in the final if it all goes to plan in Europa League, and in the FA Cup, and sit with City, and we've taken points of Arsenal, got the win, and with City, but equally they've beaten us as well. So it's like evens on both fronts. It's a 50-50 game, but do you know what I mean? I feel like we've got all the potentials. Like you said, if we don't get certain key guys injured, like Casemiro, your Rashfords, and all of those type of guys, then we'll be all right. Look, who was your man of the match, Edwin, against Newcastle in the final? Mind you, we didn't even perform that great. It was just a business as usual performance. It was BAU, really and truly. But who was your man of the match?
From what I saw, to be honest, I think Casemiro had a good game. Or Martinez.
Those guys have been a solid foundation for us, man. Like solid foundation. So you giving
I'll give it to Cass, man. Scored the goal, put a good performance. But the defenders played well as well. You know, honourable mention that Wan-Bissaka played well when he came on. Yeah, but I would say maybe I'll give it to Cass. And I think Martinez had a good game. He was just putting his life on the line for everything. Man was throwing his head everywhere, like blocking. His head
boss as well.
Yeah, so he was going on like he was really there for the 300 Sparta. But yeah, I'll probably give it to Cass.
How about you, Enke? Who's your man of the match?
Look, big.
Yeah. Should I give my man?
Shout out to Tim Hard, yeah. Shout out to Tim Hard. And then even Casemiro too, but to me, it's simple, man. Man of the match is what do you call it? It's Martinez for me, man. It's Martinez for me. Look, he played like a final. He played like a final, head going to everything. Like anything, but round two, like the two of them anyway, they played like a final too. They got a clean sheet. Let's not forget that too, man. I mean, the time where Newcastle were coming and everything like that, they dealt with everything with ease, man. They did deal with everything. We could have played this game for like 2 days, and I don't see Newcastle kind of like scoring a goal. And that's mostly down to those two. I mean, I always said it. As long as those two with Casemiro are fit, everything is possible this season, man. Casemiro, Varane, and Martinez. As long as those two are fit, everything is possible, man. And obviously, you got Rashford doing like his individual stuff to up front too, man. But, like everything is possible, man. But big shout out to Martinez. It's not only this game too. He done the same thing too against Barcelona too, but that also kind of like went missing too. So I'm only giving him the man of the match based on what he done this one. Actually, to be honest with you, both him and Varane. Anyway, the last 2 games they've been immense, man. They've been solid.
Bob, it's so difficult for me to give man of the match here. To any it's too difficult for me because I feel like even Luke Shaw, all of the defense, even the guys that come off the bench. But you know what? I'm gonna go with a random one just because I know the man them already just can all get man of the matches. I'm gonna give it to Workhorse, man. I feel like this was Workhorse's best game in the United shirt, and him getting his assist, him getting his assist for Rashford, was I was happy for the guy. I was really happy for the guy. There was a moment where he was crouching down, looking up, and just taking in the settings. Look, for him, this is amazing for him. Look, he's going to bar.
He's getting emotional now, man. He's bringing emotion into it.
He's going to the new camp. You know what I mean? He's experiencing all of these wonders that Man United is bringing him. You know what I mean? Dennis playing in Wembley. Like, look, he's like loving the shit. But you know what? He played a good game, to be fair. That's the thing about Workhorse. He's been getting a lot of criticism about him, you know, not winning aerial duels. And mind you, like, we've been contributing as well. You know,
do you want him to stay though? Do you want him to stay?
You see, the thing about Manchester United is we need to build a team for all different type of scenarios and occasions. Not to say like Workhorse is the be all end all. We can get someone else that can do what he does and score goals. But the thing is Workhorse is already like integrated into the squad. He's got the right mentality. He's going to be cheap as anything. Like, I reckon you can probably seal that deal for less than 10 million. And, you know, I mean, it's just, look, if Workhorse is happy to be like fourth choice striker, I'll be glad to take him.
No, but here's a thing, and going forward, look, the players that are currently here, they all need to work 10 times harder if they want to stay here. Because this manager has proven that if you work as hard as possible for this football club, you're gonna be rewarded with winning trophies. It's evident. Everybody can, the fans can see it, the players can see it too.
Yeah.
And new players that are gonna come into, they know that if they choose this football club, they're not gonna be choosing it just for the money too, but they're gonna be choosing it because they're gonna win a trophy, because we got a winner in Tim Hag who's gonna do that. So it's just one of those ones that if you here, you want to be part of it, you got to work hard to stay. And that's not for workers too. That go for all the players, your Sanchos, your Brunos and stuff like that. We're not going to be here taking like, okay, you know what, you can relax. You either come here, put in the work, or you out. This is not the time where we pay players to come here and then we beg them to stay because we don't know what direction we're going to. We know what direction we're going to. And that's to dominate English football, and that's to dominate Europe. Yes. That's what we're doing now. So you either work
AK the spokesman.
You can go and you can keep packing, man. So we're not taking passengers, you know. So look, Workhorse is a good guy, you know. He work hard for the team and everything, and that's all good. But we need goals, you know. So if he can add the goals to it, that's fine. But if not, he won a trophy and his hard work was rewarded, and he's going to move on so that someone else can come in and take us to the promised land. And that's all it is, man. That's all it is.
Bruv, that speech, I can have that on repeat, bro. Just playing it back, bruv. United, the promised land. Old Trafford, OT 99, Old Trafford, 1999. Look, that feeling is coming back again, man. It's coming back again. And I'm here all for it. Guys, remember.
Oh, by the way, friends, yeah. Hold on. Before you finish, yeah. Please tell your boy Mbappe to stop twerking for us. Tell your boy Mbappe to stop. You see the way Mbappe? You see the way he's twerking,
bro. 2 goals on that left. The way he's just dominating that left hand side, bro. Look, him and Rashford.
He's twerking on the Rashford pitches. He's twerking on the Sancho pitches. Look, tell him we're coming for him. Yeah, he needs to start twerking in public. We're coming, man.
He knows what time it is. He's speaking to Qatari, man.
I've told you already, firms, innit? I don't really want him at the team, but that's another convo.
Do you know the dynamic duo?
Yeah, but look, Ten Hag has done so well at creating unity in the team. I think he'll disrupt it, man. He brings a lot of issues.
Pipe down, man. Pipe down.
He won't.
Pipe down here. Well. We need superstars out here, man. Look, Tim Hag is gonna deal with them, man. He dealt with Ronaldo nicely, man. I think he can deal with the egos, man. Look, as long as players come, they want to win, man. And if you come and they're winning, I'm sure the manager will find a way for them. Great elite managers always know how to deal with this type of personalities, man. So look, bring Mbappe, Bring all the superstars,
Imagine
man.
Bruno just putting in that deep through ball to Mbappe and Rashford
Hey,
running
get out of
out.
here.
Oh.
Bruno ain't putting it nowhere. Imagine
Exactly.
superstars doing that.
bruv, all I need is them heart emojis, bruv. Look, imagine that though. With them man running off the last defender, Rash and Mbappe. Forget about it. Forget about it. And then both of them doing this.
You have that team. You see that team stepping out on the pitch here. That game is already won before it starts. You see those guys coming. Game is already won.
Look, guys, smash a like, follow, share, leave a comment, do all of that jazz. We're coming for your next first of many, like what the thumbnail says, first of many. It's smoke season, baby. Smoke season. Eric Ten Hag, we out.
Peace.